All right. You all know why we're here and what we came to do this year. This is only the beginning of a very long season, but Game 1 means just as much as Game 82. Now, we have some new faces here that I really expect to make an impact for us this season. We've already seen flashes of what they can do for us, but I expect all of you to go out there and execute just like we did in camp. Ain't no more excuses. It's time to get serious. If we play our brand of basketball, there's no telling where this team can go. So get out there, get warm, and let's go win this game.
My first NBA game. Can't believe it's finally here. You work your entire life for something, and then when it's right in front of you, it's almost hard to believe. But I'm ready. And now it's time for me to show everybody I belong and do my best to represent Harlem.
And we've been waiting for this day for a long time. It's opening day in the NBA. Thanks, everyone, for joining us here in the start of a new season. This is Kevin Harlan with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg and our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. It's all about the Eastern Conference. That's where the action is today as the Atlanta Hawks get ready to battle. And it's their first look at this year's Pistons here for the first game of the NBA's 82-game regular season. In a season ago, Clark, they won the matchup, winning 3 and losing just 1.
And looking back to last season, they won this season series as you'd expect.
Yeah, there's a reason they were a playoff team. I mean, they beat the teams they were supposed to. We'll see if they can do it again tonight.
So Detroit will get the first possession.
What a huge moment this is for him. I mean, your whole life has been spent leading up to this, and finally he's going to get to take the court in the NBA. I mean, his mind has to be racing like 1,000,000 miles an hour.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, there are all different kinds of pressure situations. This is about as nerve-wracking as it gets. But even so, I don't think it takes away from how much he enjoys it.
And Detroit has possession. Following the miss by Freak. And Meeks kicks to Johnson. Just 5 to shoot. Drills it from outside.
Well, we know prior to last season, the Pistons handed the car keys over to Stan Van Gundy. He had some early hiccups, but overall, I think they're headed in the right direction. He's a proven winning coach in the NBA.
Detroit leading by 3. They set the screen. And the shot falls short this time.
You almost have to assume he's going to knock those down when he is that open.
Here's Scott. That's good, and so Teague with the assist.
They really can't allow him too many open looks like that. I mean, that's just inviting trouble.
Jackson is doubled. Meeks dishes to Morris, and he gets it to go. Morris has got his first points of the night.
Oh, I love that dish down low.
T kicks to Splitter. From the stripe. The rebound by Johnson. Detroit's gone 2 or 3 from deep so far in this game. Outside Jackson. Pass to Baines. Bazemore grabs the miss. Atlanta's gone 3 of 6, 50% from deep so far tonight. It's a 4-second differential between the shot clock and game clock. Fires it up. And it's Freak missing.
Ill-advised shot there, Clark.
Yeah, exactly. That was lower than low percentage.
From outside the arc. Cannot hit. Plenty of offense in this closely contested first quarter of play. The Pistons on top, up by 2. And don't go away. We'll be back with the action for the start of the second quarter in just a moment. Well, earlier we sat down with Freak and asked him about playing in his first NBA game.
You know, I've thought about this moment my entire life. Now that it's finally here, the feeling's pretty crazy. But I know it's just the beginning. I got a lot of hard work ahead of me to get to where I want to go, to be the best player and the best teammate I could be. But this is an exciting first step, no doubt.
You know, Clark, you don't see that kind of perspective from most rookies, do you?
You really don't, Kevin. I mean, I really like his approach to the game. What remains to be seen, though, is will that translate to consistent production on the court.
And the Hawks will go for a different look here. Splitters checked in for Horford. Humphreys comes in for Paul Millsap. Kent Bazemore's checked in for Cephalosha. And Freak subbed in for Kyle Korver. So Detroit going with an almost entire new group here. Aaron Baines, he's checked in for Andre Drummond. Morris comes in for Anthony Tolliver. Johnson, he's checked in for Tobias Harris. And it's Jody Meeks in for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. And Detroit looking at who they've got. We've got Aaron Baines. Marcus Morris is out there with Johnson. And there's Jackson, and it's Meeks in at the 2 guard. Scotty's checked in for Atlanta. We've got 1:48 left to play here in the second quarter. Meeks inside the three-point line. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time. Jackson's got 9 assists in the game. Great passing.
And Jody Meeks last season coming off the best effort of...
And that bucket right there, folks, is the first official NBA basket from Freak.
Yeah, and you know, he can relax a little bit now. That first one is in the books. It won't be the biggest bucket he makes in his life, but man, it may be the most memorable.
I think you may be right about that. No matter how many thousands of them he winds up with, we'll never forget that first one.
Now for Jody Meeks, we're just talking about with Drake last year, Clark. He did have a game where he rained 9 3-pointers on Orlando, just one short of the Pistons' all-time record.
Well, it's all about rhythm for him. I tell you where he finally found some rhythm last month of the season. I mean, he shot 57% from the field and 44% from behind the arc.
I'm shocked that didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. 43 seconds left in the first half of the game. To the middle, here's Morris, and the layup's good off the glass. Morris has got 6.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shots now starting to fall.
There's Freak. And again, it's Atlanta. And here we see the debut of Freak, the kid from Harlem. His first time on an NBA floor. And Clark, it's a moment that he's worked very hard to achieve, and his family has got to be proud.
Extremely so, Kevin. It's been a long journey for him, but every level along the way, he's found success. High school phenom, playing for a college championship. I wouldn't bet against this kid on anything when it comes to basketball.
The three-pointer, no good. Detroit leading by 10. Johnson, the pass to Meeks. Jackson has the open look. Off target from outside. Teague dishes to Bazemore. That'll do it for the first half. Pistons.
Okay, let's get it together, guys. We're not that far out of it, and it's not going to take much to get this building going again. Listen up. I'll say this. We kept a very tight handle on the basketball, and that's something I always like to see. The fewer turnovers, the better, obviously. Keep your heads on a swivel out there. I haven't liked our lack of production in the paint. We're not working hard enough to get the ball inside and put pressure on their bigs at the hoop. And when we get the ball, we can look to start the break if it's there for us. But I don't want to push it just because we have some ground to make up. We can get back into this game in a heartbeat. It's only going to take a minute to get on a run and chop that lead down. But I don't want us to wait around. Let's do it fast.
Now the second half about to start up and begin any moment.
And guys, you hear about how the Hawks are the jokingly...
Freak in at shooting guard. Chris Humphries is out there with Scott. Then there's Paul Millsap, and it's Heinrich in at the 1. So that's the Hawks 5. And so the Pistons take the win. A solid win on the road for them. This building was dead silent by the time, GA, this one wound down.
And that's what you want to do. Take the crowd out of it by crunch time. Don't give them any chance to lift their team up at the finish.
That concludes the first game of the NBA season. For Clark Kellogg, Greg Anthony, and Doris Burke,
the 2K Sports post-game show.
Thank you, Kevin. And now we get a chance to present our Jordan Player of the Game, Reggie Jackson. What are your thoughts, Ken?
Listen up, everybody. Reggie Jackson, he can bring it. He's got a lot of skills. He can pass, he can dribble, he can shoot. And tonight, he brought them all. He's a dangerous player when he's focused and locked in.
Well, he showed us just how good he can be when he's at the top of his game. And the building was stunned. You saw people leaving early, throwing popcorn, throwing hot dogs, spilling soda. He put on a CSDP, a crowd shut down performance. Man, that's what I'm talking about, Ernie.
And that's it for our broadcast here tonight. But we're just getting started on a new season in the NBA. For Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith,
I'm coming home. New York City, baby. I'll be honest, I'm pretty excited. Mama, Pops, and Cece, yeah, they're going to be there. Playing in front of them in an NBA uniform for the first time is going to be a special moment for me. Now, I know all of Harlem's going to be watching. No pressure, right? It's all good, though. I've been waiting for this my entire life. And now be ready.
It's time for some hoops at the home of the New York Knicks. We're bringing it to you live on 2K Sports. Last game for the Hawks, it was a loss to the Pistons.
Yeah, they were able to keep it close for the most part.
Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Derek Williams checked in for Carmelo Anthony. And it's Tony Wroten in for Jose Calderon. On the court for Atlanta, Freak in a 2-guard. Mike Scott out there with Splitter. Then there's Teague. And it's Bazemore at the small forward. Got a piece of it. Teague kicks to Freak from about 19 feet. And he gets the jumper to drop. Freak's got his first points of the night.
Well, I tell you, last season was a big one for the Hawks and Coach Budenholzer. Their dominant season won him multiple Coach of the Month titles, and eventually he won the Coach of the Year award.
Now here comes Teague, leading the break. Here's Freak. Can't get it to go. So New York will take it the other way. This game coming after a loss against the Bucks.
Probably their poorest defensive effort all season long. I mean, at home, that kind of D is not going to cut it. Never mind when you're on the road.
Hey, I don't know, guys. This may be all speculation. Perhaps they had a bad flight into town the night before, and we all know a rough flight in can lead to turbulence on the court. Well, we've got a moment here now, Kevin, to look back to last year's Knicks. 8th in free throw shooting, 14th in blocks. And they were in the top half of the league shooting the ball from deep. Average to pedestrian, but still fairly effective from there.
And you look at their free throw percentage, not to be overlooked. I mean, this was a team, I thought, that did a really good job of taking advantage of their opportunities.
Nobody near Williams. Drops in the tray. 59 seconds left in the first. Teague, the pass to Freak. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Teague's got 3 assists tonight.
You know what? That's a shot that great players can make.
Wroten kicks to Aflalo. Ball stolen. Here we go, one-on-one. Here's Bazemore. And that one's good.
Clearly, he's one of the best there is in the business when it comes to making that lead pass.
Knicks trail by 5. Aflalo outside. Here's the 3. And again, New York with the triple.
That's 2 straight quick three-pointers they've allowed.
The defense just not reacting with enough aggressiveness.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Down low, stolen by O'Quinn. Wroten with it. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him.
Hawks foul call. Freak. That's his first personal foul.
This is his first chance at the line tonight.
Tony Wroten. 2 shots.
No good on the free throw. And the Hawks making a change here. And the second free throw, good. Here's Teague. That will count. Got it off in time, but it's no good. A nice first quarter. And a chance to hear from former number 2 overall pick Derek Williams about his focus offensively. 2 huge improvements for him. So New York going with almost an entire new group here. Kyle O'Quinn, he's checked in for Lopez. Thomas comes in for Porzingis. Williams, he's checked. Oh, my. How did he hit that shot?
I don't believe what I just saw right there.
And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Down low, hangs in the air. And here is Teague. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard.
Listen, the Knicks finishing at the bottom of the East last season. They didn't go into the season thinking they were in for a rough go, making last season all that more painstaking for the fan.
Splitters checked in for Al Horford. And for the Knicks and their play against the rest of the conference, guys who've been talking about only Clark 11 wins in 52 games.
And you know, Kevin, what's worse is the Knicks were 5-21 at home against the East. No matter how you slice that up, the Knicks had a season that everybody would like to forget in New York.
And it's Freak missing.
Hard to figure out how he doesn't knock that one down. No defender in sight.
Roten with it, picked up by Teague. Roten dishes to Afflalo. And the jumper falls for him. Afflalo's got 5 points so far. The Hawks leading by 5. Teague kicks to Freak. Shoots it up. And the shot is long.
Well, I think the defense got lucky right there. I mean, he's going to make a lot more of those than he misses when he's got that much room.
The shot by Williams, no good. Outside Teague. And stolen by Roten. And here we go. Fast break. Roten's got it. Lets it go from 11. Rebound Atlanta. Following this one, they get to host the Hornets. That game is the first and last of their homestand. And that one's good. Freak.
Excellent work there in transition.
Yeah, I think it's always better to go early in transition, to attack when it's there, because oftentimes you can beat the defense down the floor.
Afflalo, the pass to Thomas. Back to Afflalo. Banked in off the glass. Afflalo's got 7.
And boy, has he picked it up since the start of the second. His shot's now starting to fall.
Takes the 3. Can't get it to go. So New York will take it the other way. And this matchup with the Hawks, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, and these teams pretty familiar with one another. They'll face off 4 times this year.
And you know, Greg, both would love to get the upper hand early. This game, to me, is psychological as much as anything. I mean, a win here provides that edge you're looking for.
Right side Teague. Shakes off the strong D and gets to the bucket for 2. Teague's got the lead up to 7 now for the Hawks. Roten can't get it to go. And so that's the end of the first half. The Hawks on top, up by 7. And we'll see you back here after the break for third quarter basketball.
All right, guys, focus on me. We got them where we want them, and we can quiet these fans down even more if we pay attention to a couple of key things. Number 1, I love the teamwork we're seeing out of you guys. We're tearing them to shreds without passing at the offensive end. Let's keep that going and pile up those assists. Something I have liked is our movement off the ball and all the good looks it's created for us. Keep finding those open shots on the floor. And let's try to play the second half at a moderate pace. Not too slow, but not too fast that it turns into a shootout. That's not what we want. All right, we're in good shape, but this is a strong team we're up against. We're going to have to weather some storms in the second half. Come on, fellas, we got this.
Knicks fans, these are your Knicks City.
And now the third quarter has to get going.
Melo having a terrific game. He has 14 points, and he's got 2 baskets from out in three-point land.
And so the Hawks take the win. A narrow win under difficult circumstances, Greg, as the visiting team.
It really was, but that didn't seem to bother them. I mean, road team, home team, all I know is they were the better team.
Well said. And that about wraps it up. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Welcome back, everybody. Ernie Johnson here along with Shaq and the Jet as we present our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul Millsap. No matter what they threw at him during the second half, it seemed like he had the answer and was able to find all the shots he wanted.
He had a sensational night shooting the ball. Over 60% reminds me of myself. If you're shooting over 60%, you're playing smart, you're being aggressive, and you're creating opportunities. What a spectacular performance.
He was up to every single challenge he faced tonight. He was in such control of the ball game. His showcase of his skill set was awesome.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.
What a life, eh, freak? 1 minute you're playing 21 and horse on the courts in Harlem, and the next moment you're in the showroom, configuring the gunmetal and graphite exterior of your luxury car and your iPad mini. Oh, I bet you get a crazy crowd when you drive that car around the block in the old neighborhood, huh?
Yeah, I'm living the dream. Bad pandemonium. But folks from back around the way are real proud of me.
Yeah, I hear you. Local kid makes good. You know, it kind of reminds me of when I took my tech stock public and I rang the New York Stock Exchange bell, and my mom's friends called her up and said, "Maggie, is that your son on Bloomberg News this morning ringing the bell?" And my mom says, "Yes, sirree, Bob, it was him." That was a great moment, freak. And you know, our lives are like a pearl necklace of great moments, all strung together with the finest silk thread of memories. And we have to be very careful how we cultivate those pearls and we thread that necklace.
Does this meeting by any chance have to do with Vic Van Leer?
I grew up in the burbs, freak. I wasn't poor, upper middle class, comfortable. My daddy worked as an accountant for one of the largest insurance firms in the country. Smart with his money. Mom didn't have to work. I went to boarding school. And my dad died of a heart attack when I was a freshman at MIT. I was a movie geek, wanted to be a civil engineer, but I made my fortune by becoming a hybrid of both those interests. My dad didn't want me to be an accountant. Oh, listen to this. My best friend was a guy named Isidore. Yeah, we called him Izzy. He was one of the smartest human beings I have ever met in my life. I mean, Izzy was taking second-year college calculus courses as a high school sophomore, right? Straight-A student, full ride to MIT. Izzy had the world at his fingertips. But he was always looking for trouble, and trouble found him. He ran with the wrong crowd. And when we got to MIT, he got this great job working for a financial consulting firm in Boston. But every weekend, he would fly to Vegas. You see, Izzy had a system for counting cards in Vegas that had the big casinos on the Strip. Oh, it's stymied. He would come back to MIT with suitcases filled with $200,000 in cold cash.
Word?
Yeah.
So your man Izzy was getting hit off like that?
Like a fat rat in a cheddar cheese factory, freak.
Okay, so what happened to this dude Izzy? Because he's dope.
No, not dope. Dead. After he'd been missing for 3 weeks, the Nevada State Police never found hide nor hair of Isidore. And our friendship took a hit when he asked me to hang out with him in Vegas, and I said I wouldn't do it because I knew He was on a dark and twisted path in his life. And yes, he was my dude. But no way was I going to throw my life away trying to show my loyalty to a guy who really and truly didn't understand what loyalty was all about.
So this meeting is about Vic.
Correctamente.
Okay, well, sir, Vic isn't Izzy.
And why's that, freak?
Well, for one thing, you and your dead friend Izzy didn't grow up poor. Me and Vic grew up in a neighborhood where we had to look over our shoulder every 2 seconds to make sure nobody was going to walk up on us and rob us.
True. Izzy and I did not grow up in the hood. But we, like you, thankfully grew up in a two-parent household. But even that wasn't enough for Izzy. He wasn't satisfied. He was always looking for a 5-alarm fire when he already had the warmth and comfort of a loving family. This is not about class warfare, freak. This is about the consequences of making bad choices and risking it all when you feel like you have nothing to lose.
Vic is like a brother to me, sir.
But you shouldn't be Brother Vic's keeper, freak. Would a brother go looking for trouble and put your career and your livelihood at risk by getting into fights at nightclubs and seedy after-hour joints and then scream to the media, "Yeah, it's all good, I'm an FOF, friendo freak. It's all misunderstanding. Y'all be haters, don't hate my game." I don't think a brother would do that to someone they really cared about, but a guy who looked at you like a meal ticket would.
No. See, you don't understand Vic.
Really? I don't understand.
No.
Look, man, it was a misunderstanding with the guy in the next VIP booth. His honey started flirting with me, so naturally I started flirting back. Next thing I know, Captain Cornball's off my grill piece beefing. Next thing he know, he got a 2-piece and a biscuit on his left eye. Hey, I don't know who hit him, and it damn sure wasn't me. Hey, Captain Cornball's mad because I'm an FOF, friend of freak. Hey, but check this out, though. He needs to train that hottie before he leave the house, though. Yo, he's hot as ain't loyal, man.
What's there to understand? Are you freaking blind? You know, I just want to know, how much did you pay your lawyers to make all this go away?
Almost $100,000.
Excuse me, son, I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I said I paid almost $100,000.
Exactly. And if you keep riding shotgun with Vic, you're gonna go broke. Quick, fast, and in a hurry.
Look, Vic is my friend, and I grew up with him. How many times I gotta tell you, sir?
Freak, this is not a request. I am not asking you to do this. I am telling you to do this. And the first order of business is that Mr. Vic Van Leer is banned from traveling with you on the road. Vic is banned from the locker room. And Vic is banned from this arena. And if I catch this guy, Vic, in or anywhere near the facilities, Mr. Vic Van Leer will be arrested for trespassing.
Are you serious, sir?
Brother, I'm as serious as cancer. We all know that can be deadly.
You know, when me and Vic were kids, playing summer tournaments at the Dome, we always imagined making it to the pros, right? And after the crowds left, just a street light was on the court, like 11:30, 12 midnight, even 1 in the morning sometimes. We used to practice player introductions, running on the court, giving dap, high-fiving the teammates. Vic, he would act as an announcer. You know, he would introduce me, announce my name on the loudspeaker, and the Jumbotron would flash my image like a little guy dressed in long shorts and a jersey. And now, fresh off his 3-game, 62-point scoring streak, the youngest player to ever do so in NBA history, Frequency Vibrations. So me and Vic would sit in those empty bleachers at the Dome and dream like nobody's business. And now I'm living a dream. For real. And in so many ways, Vic was part of that.
Please, listen to me. I mean, I know This guy's your dude from way back.
No. Me and Vic go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
That's good. We go way back. Did you say front seats?
Front seats of a 67 Cadillac.
We go way back like the front seats of a 67 Cadillac. Well, do you have any crickets? I'm going to be the hit once again at Herbie Allen's Sun Valley Shindig because my fellow billionaires love it when I walk and talk that talk.
So that almost sounds...
No, let me tell you exactly what it sounds like. I respect, admire, and most importantly, love you as a human being and a role model. But I pay you a lot. And I mean, I pay you a lot of money to play for my team. And I am in this game to win it. And you can't win it with an albatross around your neck like Vic. So Vic is done. History. And here's some more lingo that I picked up from a former megastar who used to play for me several seasons ago. Thought I would never release him until I did. And now he's the sixth man on a struggling team in Venice. And yeah, I'm talking Venice with the canals and the gondolas and Harry's bar, not the street ballers next to the fortune tellers on the beach in Cali. This guy used to tell me when he thought there was a player destroying our team, don't be a hero, cut that zero. And that is what I am telling you about Vic, freak. Don't be a hero, cut that zero. The only thing Vic brings into your life is headache and unwanted and unnecessary negative attention. And it will begin to affect your mindset. And when it affects your mindset, it's going to affect your play. And when it affects your play, it's going to affect my team. And when it affects my team, it's going to affect my money. And if it affects my money, Google Translate will become your new freaking friend. I want a championship ring, freak, and I want you to help me get that ring. And banners after banners hanging from the rafters in this arena. So, freak, hear me clearly and hear me good. V, G, G, Vic, gotta go! Handle your business. And remember, that contract you signed contains a morality clause, a very important clause that revolves around your conduct on and off the court, and how it can negatively impact my team. Now, I don't want you to have to learn Italian or Croatian as a second language. And hey, playing pro ball overseas, there's nothing wrong with that. But the arenas are nothing like this, nor will the money be the same. And on top of all of that, this is the U.S. of A., the greatest freaking country in the world. Ask yourself, is Vic worth all that? Think about it. Think long, think wrong.
Tell you about Vic. He has his bad rap. It's not, and I understand some of his judgments might shadow his actual character. He's not that at all. Man, Vic, let me tell you something. We actually, we have love for each other. We're brothers. Blood couldn't make us any closer at all. I mean, he has so much loyalty to me and to my family. You could see even Cece, has issues with him, but he still loves her. He still loves her.